Firstly, students, today in this class, we are going to learn about class 12 geography, chapter number 2, that is the world population, distribution, density, and growth, part 2. So, in the part 1, we discussed about the world population. Regarding the world population, we discussed about the population distribution and the density of population of the world. So, now in this class, we are going to discuss about the third topic about the world population, that is the growth of world population. So before going to the growth of population of the world, we need to know some basic concepts regarding the growth of population. So the first thing is we need to know the meaning of growth of population. So what is meant by growth of population? Growth of population means change in number of people in a particular area between 2 points of time. It is known as growth of population. For example, if we talk about the growth of population of India, so in India we have one government agency or a government department that is called the Census of India. So the Census of India, so this is the logo of Census of India. So the Census of India is responsible for counting the population of India in every 10 years. So if we talk about the growth of population of India, in 2001, the population of India is 1.03 billion. And if we talk about the population of India in 2011, that is 1.21 billion. So that means there is a change in number of people between 2001 and 2011. So that is called the growth of population. So here change in number of people, so change in number of people is 1.03 billion to 1.21 billion. So that is the change in number of people in a particular area. So here the particular area is India. Between 2 point of time is between 2001 and 2011. So that is called the growth of population. So in India, the Census of India enumerates or count the population of India in every 10 years. So last time the India Census of India enumerate the population of India is in 2011. So the next counting will be held in 2021. So this is about the growth of population. Next, what is meant by growth rate of population? So growth rate of population means if the change of population, so we know what is meant by change, right? If the change of population is shown or expressed in terms of percentage, that is called growth rate of population. So if the growth of population is calculated or expressed in terms of percentage, that is called growth rate of population. Third one is natural growth of population. So what is meant by natural growth of population? So natural growth of population means number of birth in a particular country minus number of death in a particular country. So the differences between number of birth and number of death in a particular country or a region, that is called natural growth rate. The fourth one is actual growth of population. So actual growth of population. So how we can find the actual growth of population? So actual growth of population, birth minus death plus in migration. In migration means how many people are coming to coming in that particular country. So how many people are coming in India, and if we minus out migration, how many people are going out of India. So if we birth minus death plus in migration minus our migration, then we will get actual growth of population of a particular country. Then negative growth of population. positive growth of population. So if there is increase in number of people between 2 point of time in a particular area, then it is called positive growth of population. So if we talk about the positive growth of population, for example, India between 2001 and 2011, the population size of population in India has increased. So that means the population of India is in positive growth of population. So that means increase. So if there is increase in number of people between 2 point of time in a particular area, then that is called positive growth of population. Then negative growth of population, if the growth of population is decreased between 2 point of time in a particular area, then it is called negative growth of population. So these are the some basic concepts or concepts regarding the growth of population. Next one, we are going to learn about what are the determinants or what are the components of population change, or what are the factors that affect the population change. So there are three main components or three main determinants of population change in the world. So there are birth, death, migration. So these are the three main components or the determinants which led to change in population of a particular country, change in population of the world, in the world. So these are the three main components or determinant that lead to change in population in a particular area, in a particular country, or in a population in the world. So these above three components or determinant causes change in population in the world or in a particular area. So first one, birth, that is also called fertility. So birth means number of live birth per thousand of its population in a year. Uh, it is called crude birth rate. So how we can calculate the crude birth rate? CBR. So CBR is equal to BI divided by P into 1000. So here we are going to calculate the fertility rate, crude birth rate, in terms of percentage out of 1000. So hence BI stands for live birth. Live birth in a year. P is the estimated mid-year population. So mid-year population here stands for July 1st is the mid-year population. So how many babies are born in a year divided by mid-year population of that particular country into 1000. So we will get how many out of 1000, how many persons are babies are born in mid-year. So that is the formula that we can find the crude birth rate. Next one is death or mortality rate. So number of death per thousand of population in a year, it is called crude death rate. So how we are going to calculate the crude death rate? So it is calculated as CDR, crude death rate, is equal to D stands for number of death divided by P stands for mid-year population into 1000. So this is the formula that we can calculate the death or mortality rate or crude death rate of a particular region or a particular country. So these are the three main components or determinant which led to change in population of a particular region or a country. So the third component that lead to change in population of a particular country or a region, it is the migration. So migration is the most important components uh, uh, of determinants or components of population change. So migration, first thing is we need to know the meaning of migration. So migration means movement of people from point A to point B, from one country to another country. So that is called movement of people from a place of origin to place of destination. It is called migration. When people are moving in a new place, it is called immigration. And when those people who move out of a particular country or place, they are called immigrants. So this here we are going to learn about the migration. So for example, one people from Nepal is moved to migrated to India. So he moved out from Nepal and he moved in Nepal. So place of the origin is Nepal. Here the place of destination is India. So movement of people from Nepal to India. So the place of uh, origin is Nepal and place of destination is India. So here immigration means moving out, emigration means moving in. So these are the terms that we need to know the migration. So regarding the migration, so next is what are the patterns, what are the streams, or what are the types of migration. So we have four main types of migrations. They are urban to urban. People are moving from urban to urban, one city to another city. So one of the main reason, one of the dominant factor why people are moving from urban to urban is, the reason is why means because of job transfer. Another stream or another pattern of migration is urban to rural. Urban to rural. Why people are moving, migrating from urban to rural? Mostly, most of people are moving from urban to rural because of old age and retired people are moving from urban to rural. People are moving from rural to rural area. The one main dominant or the one most important factor is because of marriage. If we talk about in India, marriage. And fourth one, rural to urban. Why people are moving from rural to urban? So mostly people in the world are moving from rural to urban area. For what reason? What is the main reason? Is the main reason is because of job and for education purposes. People are moving from rural to urban. So these are the some concept that we learned uh, about the components or the determinants of population change. So what are the factors? So why what are the various factor affecting or influencing migration, or why do people migrate? So there are two main factors or two set of factors that affect, that influences the migration. So what are the two set of factors that affect the migration? So why people are moving from one place to another? So we have two main factors, two set of factors. They are push and pull factor. Push means makes the place of origin less attractive. So we know what is meant by place of origin and what is meant by place of destination, right? We already discussed about that. So place of origin is less attractive. Because of that, people are moving out. What are the food push factors? Such as in that particular country or region, we have lots of unemployment and cases. Because of that, in order to find better opportunity, job opportunity, people are moving out of that region. Because in that particular region, we have poor living condition, we have lots of political unrest and political civil wars and lots of political unrest, and we have lots of political turmoil, unpleasant climate. It may be because of natural disasters such as frequent earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis are occurring. If such natural disasters are occurring in a certain place, then people will move away from that place and they will go to another safer places. It may be because of epidemics. So these are some of the push factor which led to place of origin less attractive. So here we have one emoji. So this particular emoji is crying. Because of that, he is not happy in this particular place of origin. Because of that, the reason may be because of these reasons. Why he's or she is crying, it may be because of these reasons. Then another reason is pull factor. Pull factor means place of destination. So we need know that place move in. So place of destination seems more attractive than the place of origin. Because of that, people are migrating or moving out of that particular, and some people are moving in the another particular region. So what are the pull factors? It may be because of better job opportunities, better more secure job opportunities, better living condition as compared to place of origin, more peace and stability politically, socially, more peace and stabilities, economically more secure for life and prosperity. It may be because of pleasant climate. Because of that, people are moving in the particular regions because of these favorable or pull factors. So people are push factor, pull factor. So another topic related with the growth of population is doubling times of world population. So first thing is we need to know the meaning of doubling times of world population. So doubling times of population means how many years it takes to double the world population. So this is the one way that we can describe or we can interpret the growth of world population. So that means how many years it takes to double the world population. So there is a great variation among the region in doubling their population. So if we talk about the doubling times of population among the countries of the world, it is totally uneven as compared to developed and developing countries. So developed country takes more time to double their population as compared to developing country. For example, most of the European countries, uh, it takes more times to double their population. For example, in European countries, it takes 100 years to double their population in order to double their population. In contrast to that, if we talk about the population doubling times of population in some of the Asian and African countries, it takes 50 to 60 years to double their population. So that means there is a great variation among the regions in doubling their population. So generally, developed countries, they take more times to double their population as compared to developing countries. It may be developing countries, it may be because of poor literacy rate. Most of people are engaged with agriculture primary sector. It may be because of lack of family planning. It may be because of this one, uh, socially they are, economically they are poor. Because of that, in developing countries we have the doubling. It takes less time to double their population in as compared to developed countries. So developed country, they are taking more time, more years to double their population. It may be because of uh, women's freedom, because of that later age marriage, and it may be because of more literacy rate, better literacy rate, better education system. It may be because of better family plannings, and most of people are economically they are engaged in secondary and tertiary sector. Because of that, in developed country, it takes more years to double the population. So here, in order to explain the doubling times of world population, here we have a table in order to understand the doubling times of world population. So if we talk about doubling times of world population, 1650 AD to 1804 AD. So the population doubles from 500 million to 1000 million. So population doubles from 500 million to 1000 million. So how many years it takes to double the population of the world means it takes 154 years. But if it study the next year, 1804 AD to 1927, the world population doubles from 1000 million to 2000 million. So how many years it takes? Only 123. Likewise, 1927 to 1974, population doubles from 2000 million to 4000 million. How many years it takes? It takes only 47 years. So that means by studying this particular table, we can understand that during early days, it takes more years to double the world population as compared to the recent year. It takes less time or it takes less years in order to double the world population. So that show ultimately shows what there is a rapid increase in world population. It may be because of lots of reasons: better medical facilities, it may be because of food securities, it may be because of better social and economic development in the world. So there is a, by studying this particular table, we can understand that uh, that there is a rapid growth of world population in the recent year as compared to early period. So this is the doubling times of world population. Spatial means regional, patterns means variation of population change. So population growth or change is not same all over the world or all over the countries of the world. So population growth in the different part of the world can be compared, and if we compare the growth of population among the countries, among the continents of the world, it is totally uneven. So there is a negative correlation between economic development and the population growth. So economic development means we are talking about uh, underdeveloped countries, developing countries, and developed countries. Economically more developed countries and economically less developed countries. So economic negative correlation. Population growth means growth of population is more and growth of population is less. So here countries like that. So the growth of population is low in developed countries as compared to developing countries. So economically more developed countries such as European countries, England, France, this one, Switzerland, like that, Italy. So these countries are some of the European countries, and some of the North American countries are Canada and USA. These countries are economically more developed. Economically more developed. But if you talk about the growth of population, is low. So that means there is a negative correlation. Economically more developed countries, we have the growth of population is low. Likewise, countries, economically poor countries, such as South American countries, we have lots of South American countries, right? We have Argentina, Brazil, we have Chile, we have Uruguay, like this. So these are some of the American countries, South American countries, some of the African countries, and some of the Asian countries. So these countries are economically poor. So and as compared to that, economically less developed countries, the growth of population is more. So if we study these two, there is a negative relationship between economic development and population growth. So economically more developed countries, the population growth is less. Negative correlation, right? If economically less developed countries, regions of the world, the population growth is more. So that means there is a negative correlation between economic development and population growth. More economic development, less population growth. More less economic development, we have more growth of population. So that may be lots of reasons. Uh, in general, in poor countries, we already discussed that economic lack of economically poor countries. We have lack of family planning, lack of lack of women's freedom, low literacy rate, lack of family planning. Because of that, these countries, the population growth is much higher as compared to developed countries. So the growth of population is low in economically developed countries as compared to economically less developed countries. Some of the adverse or another word negative impacts of population change. So population growth at a higher level and beyond a certain level is very undesirable. So it may lead to some negative changes impacts in the world, such as depletion or degradation of natural resources because of overutilization. It may, if the growth of population is high, it may lead to unemployment problems. Because of why means there is a mismatch between employment opportunities and those person who are seeking the employment opportunities. Soil erosion because of overutilization of land resources, deforestation, cutting of the trees, food shortage, and uneven distribution of food. So food shortage means it may lead to famine and starvation problems in the world. So there is uneven distribution of food. In developed countries, they have better food security as compared to some of the poor, economically backward countries. Overpopulation may lead to global warming. So global one main reason for global warming is because of deforestation. Deforestation is caused because of what? Expansion of agricultural land, expansion of infrastructure such as roadways, railways, and other infrastructures. So because of that, cutting of the trees and burning of fossil fuels from vehicles, so that lead to increase in overall global temperature, so that lead to global warming. So these are the some of the negative impacts of population growth in the world. Thank you.